All right, we are now looking at Helena from Midsummer Night's Dream. If you keep this open in one tab, you should have the Helena monologue open in the other tab so that you're actually following along the paper, not just watching me because you're not going to see anything in this video. You're just going to hear narration that will help you understand what's on the paper. So you have Helena, then you have this current link. This link, obviously, you have found. The next link will give you video of a professional actor performing this monologue. So if you do that, you can see someone that really understands the language interpret it for you. Given circumstances are all the backstory of what's happening before this. And in this speech tells you exactly what's supposed to be happening in this speech. So Midsummer Night's Dream is full of magic and fairies and sprites and all sorts of things. And there's this potion that has been poured onto the eyes of these two boys that they will fall in love with the first person that they see, and they see Helena. The thing is, Helena has a best friend named Hermia. Hermia is beautiful. The boys have loved Hermia forever. But they wake up this morning and they see Helena first, and now they're like, oh, I'm in love with her. I want to be with her. And Hermia comes along and is like, what is going on? Why do you suddenly love her? You're supposed to love me. Well, Helena knows nothing about the potion. She thinks the boys are just picking on her. So when Hermia starts like playing along, she's not mad at the boys. The boys are jerks. They've always been jerks. But she's really mad at Hermia because she's like, we have been best friends since we were children, and now you're going to take their side to like make fun of me just for stupid boys. So in this speech, she just lets it all out on Hermia, letting her know how much it hurts her that she's siding with these boys instead of siding with her best friend. What we're going to do is we are going to read the entire thing through once, and then we will go back and read it sentence by sentence, stopping with each exclamation point, question mark, or period. So that's how you should be doing this in your translation exercise. Writing to the exclamation point, period, question mark, and then translating on the other side. It all becomes very clear when you look at that assignment. But we're going to do this in that way so that you're guided through that. Keep in mind, you may only be responsible for 15 lines. You may be responsible for 10 lines. Whatever the number is for you, that's all you have to translate. But we're going to do the whole thing because if you're responsible for 10 lines, you may not want to do the first 10. You may want to do 10 in the middle or the last 10. So we're going to do the whole thing so you can understand what each part of it is meaning. All right, let's read it all the way through once. Lo, she is one of this confederacy. Now I perceive they've conjoined all three to fashion this false sport, in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid, have you conspired? Have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision? Is all the counsel that we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours that we have spent when we have chid the hasty-footed time for parting us, oh, is all forgot? All school days friendship, childhood innocence? We, Hermia, like two artificial gods, have with our needle created both one flower, both on one sampler, sitting on one cushion, both warbling of one song, both in one key, as if our hands, our sides, voices, and minds had been incorporate. So we grow together, like to a double cherry seeming parted, but yet in union in partition. Two lovely berries made on one stem, so with two seeming bodies, but with one heart. Two of the first like coats in heraldry, due but to one and crowned with one crest, and will you rend our ancient love asunder? To join with men in scorning your poor friend? It is not friendly, 'tis not maidenly. Our sex as well as I may chide you for it, though I alone do feel the injury. All right, so Helen is really hurt. She's really mad. She is mad at her best friend. So we're going to do this sentence by sentence. These first few lines are actually what's called an aside, meaning she realized something, she turns to the audience, and she realizes it out loud so that we realize it with her. Lo, she is one of this confederacy, meaning these two boys are playing this mean joke and they've teamed up, but now I see that she's on their team. She is part of that team, that confederacy of people that is coming together to make fun of me. Now I perceive they have conjoined all three to fashion this false sport in spite of me. So really what she's saying there's like, oh my gosh, she's teaming up with them. Now I get it. They all three have come together to make me look and feel bad. That's the end of the aside. Because now she turns to Hermia and she just lets her have it. Injurious Hermia, meaning, Hermia, you are a hurtful person. Most ungrateful maid, meaning you are my friend and you are hurting me and you are ungrateful and you are just awful. Have you conspired? Have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision? So she flat out asks them. She's like, are you just playing along with them so that I will feel bad? Are you just finding it funny to make a joke of me? Is all the counsel that we two, sorry, is all the counsel that we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours that we have spent when we have chid the hasty-footed time for parting us, oh, is all forgot. So she's saying, all the times that we have talked about deep things and counseled each other, when we made vows that we would always live like sisters, um, the many, many hours that we have spent hanging out together, and when we have chid means when we have like scolded clocks and time because suddenly it's late in the evening and we've had to part. Have you forgotten all of that? Because we've been best friends forever, and you just forgot that to make me feel bad. All school days, friendship, childhood, innocence, same thing. Like she's just going in. She is like ripping her a new one. So she's saying all the time that we were friends in school, all the childhood innocence that we spent together as we grew up together. And then she gets big. We, Hermia, are like two artificial gods, have with our needles created both one flower, both on one sampler, sitting on one cushion, both warbling of one song, both in one key, as if our hands, our sides, voices, and minds had been incorporate. All right, so a sampler is a piece of fabric that you do like needlepoint on. So if you can picture a pillow that has like a needlepoint flower on it, she's saying, we, Hermia, like two artificial gods, meaning we are so perfect in our friendship that it is almost godlike. We have, with our needles, created both one flower, meaning instead of making two different pillows, we have created one cross stitch needle on one sampler of fabric, sitting on one pillow cushion. We're both singing one song in the same key, as if our hands, which work together to make this sampler, our sides, which are directly next to each other, our voices and our minds are one voice and one mind because we are best friends and we have known each other so long that we are one person. So we grow together like a double cherry, seeming parted, but yet an union in partition. Two lovely berries molded on one stem, so with two seeming bodies, but one heart. Two of the first like coats in heraldry, due but to one and crowned with one crest. So what she's saying there is, yes, we have two bodies, but like a double cherry where two cherries are coming off of one stem, if you cut that stem, both cherries are going to die. So she's saying, yes, we have two bodies, but they're coming from the same place. We are the kind of close that if one of us dies, the other one will die. We are like two of the first, like coats in heraldry, due but to one and crowned with one crest. So she's saying there, like, coats of heraldry, coats in heraldry would be like guards for a king, and that they're all dressed exactly alike, and you can't tell them apart from the other guards that all look exactly like them and are dressed just like them, and that those guards all move as one unit on behalf of one king. So she's saying, we're like these berries that if you kill one, you kill the other one. We're like these guards that all move as one piece and you can't even tell them apart because they're so much alike. And the next one. And you will rend our ancient love asunder to join with men in scorning your poor friend. So she's saying, and you will take all of this that we have done forever since we were like three and been best friends and always taking care of each other, and you're going to just kill it for boys. Then she says, it is not friendly, 'tis not maidenly. Our sex as well as I may chide you for it, though I alone do feel the injury. So she's saying, you're not a good friend. You are certainly not maidenly, meaning a respectable woman. You're not a good friend, you're not a respectable woman, and our sex, meaning all women, as well as I, should be scorning you for this, should be scolding you and saying you should never put boys before your friends. Like all women will tell you this. They will all tell you that you should not be doing this. But they don't all feel it. Only I am the one that feels hurt. So it's kind of her way of being like, every woman would know that you're wrong, but I'm the only one that you're hurting. So think about that. So she's just ripping Hermia a new one. So let's go through this again. Lo, she is one of this confederacy. Now I perceive they've conjoined all three to fashion this false sport in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid, have you conspired, have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision? Is all the counsel we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours that we have spent when we have chid the hasty-footed time for parting us, oh, is all forgot? All school days friendship, childhood innocence, we, Hermia, like two artificial gods, have with our needles created but one flower, both on one sampler, sitting on one cushion, both warbling of one song, both in one key, as if our hands, our sides, our voices, and minds had been incorporate. So we grew together, like a double cherry stemming parted, but yet as union in partition. Two lovely berries molded on one stem, so with two seeming bodies, but one heart. Two of the first, like coats in heraldry, due but to one and crowned with one crest. And you will rend our ancient love asunder to join with men in scorning your poor friend? It is not friendly. 'Tis not maidenly. Our sex as well as I may chide you for it, though I alone do feel the injury.